wanted to give a quick review here on the car. I've got it in line for a few upgrades. I want to talk a little bit about it and get some good sound clips before it goes in line for some upgrades. So this is the Roush 2013 Mustang supercharged. I was going back and forth on it and the Shelby quite heavily. Looking at the Shelby, a good friend of mine had it, was very happy with it. Ultimately, what kind of drew me to the Roush is I felt like it was more of the complete package. It's got a lot more of the kind of the cosmetic looks. I do like the window louvers personally. I like the trim, the front bumper they swap out, the spoiler. This particular year model has a blacked out tail light specific for the 2013 that I like a lot. So the suspension and handling is a huge deal. My same friend that drove the Shelby, hopped in this car and took it for a spin, and he's like, "Man, this is like driving a Lexus compared to my Shelby. That Shelby, you get on it and you're sitting there thinking, oh my God, stay on the road." The suspension just, its handling, I wasn't a fan of it. I drove it, but it's got a lot of power, so tough to decide which one of those you'd like. I personally like the Roush more. Found a good package as this one. It's got the upgraded front rotors on the front and back. It's got 6-inch rotors, 6-piston calipers. It's their competition brake package from Roush. It's got the 20-inch wheels instead of the 18s. It's got the Recaro racing seats, subwoofer in the back with a decent sound system. It's all right. But overall, I just felt like how Roush puts it together. Their suspension, their handling, everything like that. So the only thing I've done to it has been the exhaust. I'll get a little bit of city exhaust or everyday driving exhaust notes here in a second. But it's just a standard Roush axle back exhaust, which there's plenty of videos out there to check that out. So I won't be doing a whole lot on that. But specifically, what I've done with it is I've gotten I took the factory mid-pipe out and put the Corsa, I don't know if it's Corsa Extreme, it's just Corsa mid-pipe. It's an X-pipe by Corsa. It did leave the cats in it, so it does still have the catalytic converters. It did not go with the off-road X-pipe. Wanted to try that out. I'll give you a reason for that here in a second, but I want to show you a quick pull on a harder pull for it, because this is where you really hear it pretty well. So it's got a really clean sound to it. With that, one thing I noticed about the X-pipe from Corsa that really kind of surprised me, honestly, was that it almost made the whole setup a little bit more quiet. It really pulled out a lot of that kind of that back pressure, I guess, if you will. Here's some everyday driving, windows down. It's pretty quiet. All things considered. Keep it around a 3,000 RPM shift. You can sit here with the windows down. You can actually have a conversation. I don't take it out a lot. I take it out about once a week or so. So when I do take it out, if I have my wife with me or someone in the car, I don't want to feel like I'm screaming at them. And that's one of the things I've heard plenty of the X-pipes, without the catalytic converter, and to each their own. And the off-road X-pipes, I feel like it's a real kind of rattly, sound. It's not a real clean sound. And Corsa did a good job with that. I mean, just I guess any standard X-pipe when you keep the cats. But I've been really happy with that. It's really, to me, I felt like it's cleaned up a lot of those sounds where before it had a lot of kind of that. Again, it just kind of cleaned it up. It's hard to describe, but it's got a real clean sound to it. It's not until I shift above 3,000 RPMs or really push it, dig into the gas a little bit, that you really start to hear that real aggressive sound to it. So overall, I've been really happy with it. It gets, the thing I love about the Roush that I've been still continuing to be really happy with ever since I've seen them from a long time ago is that they're just a real custom look to them, and I feel like that to me, I don't get the brand recognition that you do with the Shelby. Obviously, it's tough to beat that. They're arguably one of the most iconic cars in the U.S. for muscle cars, so I love them. But the Roushes just feel a lot more custom. They look a lot more custom. When I take it to a car show, I get a lot of people park side by side with the other Shelbys and get a lot of people compliment it and kind of walk by the Shelby. It's nothing against Shelbys, you know, I love them, but it's a lot more of a custom look, you know. So to me, it was just a personal thing. Loved it, and I've been really happy with it. So inline next, I'll get a few videos here. I don't have a lot of the before and after videos of the exhaust. It's very subtle, but again, the one thing I would say, if you're considering a mid-pipe, is just be aware that off-road X-pipe is not as clean of a sound. If you're real picky about your exhaust like I am, it may be something to consider starting with the regular mid-pipe, just swapping out the X-pipe and keeping those catalytic converters on it. See if you like it, and you can always delete them or go with high-flow cats if you want to as an alternative. So and other than that, I've got in line for some upgrades here before too long. It's supposed to really open this up a lot more to come on that. But overall, I've been very happy with the car. So that's about it. Stay tuned. We will have some videos coming up here shortly with some before and after on the upgrades. We were planning on cold air intake, pulley swap, retune, a couple different things. Really bump that horsepower up. The only complaint I've had about the Roush so far has been the power. I bought it knowing it was, you know, subpar on power compared to some of its competitors in this class. So, but power's an easy fix. Spend a little bit of money, anybody can get their car faster. It's not that hard. So, figure that is coming up next, and then look out. So we'll be in touch soon. Stay tuned.